Hello, I'm going to do a review for The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. So I'll just get right into it. I'm going to start with the cons. And in this book, there are two characters named Jason and Piper, and they have a romantic relationship. And their romantic relationship, to me at least, wasn't very believable. Maybe it's because of... I don't want to give something away because it's a spoiler, but I just didn't find their relationship very believable. I thought it was kind of like insta-love. Like, you didn't really see their relationship develop. It's just like they're in love because reasons. And I just don't like relationships where it feels like there's no reason why they like each other. They just kind of do. At least for the most part. I like those. I don't mind those relationships when it feels like there's a genuine connection between the characters, even if you don't know where the connection comes from. If I feel the connection, then I'm fine with it. But I don't feel the connection with Jason and Piper, so I just don't like the way their relationship is written. Really sorry if you ship them. If you do, that is cool, but I just don't see the connection personally. The next con, actually that's the only con. Yeah. So, onto the pros. The characters are all very interesting. This book, from what I remember, was about Jason, Piper, and Leo. I'm going to talk about Jason last because he's kind of... I have a complicated relationship with his character, okay? But Piper. Oh my gosh, I love Piper. I can't even... I love Piper. And while reading this book, I felt almost guilty-ish? That's not really the right word, but Annabeth is my favorite Percy Jackson character. Favorite. I love Annabeth. But while reading this book, I found myself loving Piper as much as, even a bit more than Annabeth. Because we didn't really see Annabeth much in this book. She was just kind of there for a little while. And she was awesome. I love Annabeth. But she was really worried about Percy, and she was preoccupied with that, and understandably, of course. But I feel like because of that, her character was really shining the way she usually is. And Piper was awesome. So I was just like, Piper, you're my new favorite for this book. So I just love Piper. And I love that she's not a stereotypical child of Aphrodite, because I feel like any character who was would not be as interesting to me, because they'd be very stereotypical, and that usually doesn't make for an interesting character to me. So, yeah. And let's talk about Leo. Leo is awesome, and he gives me feels, and he's hilarious. I love Leo. I really want him to find some love because he deserves happiness. Now, Jason. I'm not sure how to talk about his character without it sounding like I hate him. Because I don't hate him. The only way I can explain my feelings about Jason's character is by comparing him to my feelings to him to other characters. When I read about a fictional character I love, usually I feel like they're my friend, or at least I want them to be my friend, and I really love them, and I know everything about them, so I feel like I know them. Even though, of course, they're fictional, I know they're not real or anything, but I feel like I know them. When I read about Jason, I don't know who he is. I don't have any desire to be friends with him or date him, as I occasionally do with fictional characters that I get fictional crushes on. I don't want to date Jason. I don't want to be his friend. As far as I'm concerned, Jason could be the person sitting next to me in chemistry and I wouldn't know the difference. I don't know Jason. And because I feel like I don't know him, it's hard for me to love him. Does that make any sense? I feel just very distant from his character. Now I'm going to talk about the plot. The plot was very good, very interesting, fast-paced. Rick Riordan he's really good at writing plots. And now I really want to talk about the writing style, because in my Percy Jackson review I mentioned how the writing style was really enjoyable and I loved it, but it sort of was obviously geared towards younger people, and Percy was obviously 12 years old. But I felt like the writing style was more mature, and that makes sense, because the characters are older. The people reading about the characters are older than the original readers of Percy Jackson. So it makes sense that the writing style gets older, more mature. And I really like that, because like I said in my Percy Jackson review, the writing style that was geared towards younger readers occasionally put me off the book. Not too much, but just enough for me to mention it. So, with this, I was never distracted by the writing style. I loved it. So basically, my only complaints about this book are Jason and Piper's relationship and Jason in general. But to end this on a positive note, this book was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was fast-paced, and you should read it if you haven't already.